Introducing Stack Attack by Advanced Sports Logic. Stack Attack enables you to build up to 150 lineups with an even distribution of team stacks across all teams and projection providers. This maximizes your coverage of a contest, increasing your chance of finding a winning combination. This video covers how to set up Stack Attack and load it into your FanDuel contest. So let's get started.
Today, we are going to enter 150 lineups into a FanDuel main slate for Major League Baseball. The first thing I will do is set global max exposure to 33%. I do this by clicking Pro Options and setting the value of global max exposure. ASL's optimizer has many advanced Pro Option features, but we will cover these on a different day. Now that I have set my max exposure, I must put the optimizer in Stack Attack mode. First, I will set the stack depth to 4, the maximum allowed in a FanDuel MLB contest, not including the pitcher. Then I set exclude opposing pitcher on. Then I set team stacking to auto. And finally, I turn stack attack mode on. When I do that, the optimizer displays a special page where I can fine-tune my stack attack specification. The top section is max and min exposure for the starting pitchers. By default, Stack Attack rotates in all starting pitchers because we don't know which pitchers will exceed expectation. However, since we give a wide range between max and min exposure, the optimizer has a lot of freedom to favor the pitchers it likes more. The bottom section is a grid of which teams to stack and which projection providers to use. If there are some teams you know you don't want stacked, you can quickly eliminate them from the Stack Attack specification by clicking the check on the left side of the row. Today we will keep everything in default mode. Now we are ready to launch our Stack Attack. First, we just generate lineups. When we generate lineups in auto team stacking mode, it is running a separate lineup generator for each team for each projection provider, literally running hundreds of CPUs in the background and generating tens of thousands of seed lineups for the multi-lineup generator. When this completes, there is a special box that shows up below all the lineups. Here we enter the number of Stack Attack lineups, 150, and we click Generate Multiple Lineups. As the multi-lineup generator runs, a pop-up shows you a log of what is happening. At the top of the log, it shows you all your settings. For example, in our log it will show the max and min exposure settings for the pitchers. The first line of the log shows statistics related to the seed lineups generated earlier. The first number in the row is the total fantasy points of all the lineups. Further to the right, it shows the number of max and min exposure violations, and all the way to the right, the total number of players being used to build our 150 lineups. ASL's multi-lineup generator doesn't build lineups sequentially. It works on all 150 lineups together as a set, and it keeps refining the set until it can't improve anymore. You will see as each refinement occurs, something is improving, such as max and min exposure violations are going down or total fantasy points are rising. When it completes, it gives some statistical information about the run. From the last refinement results, we see that the total fantasy points of all lineups is 17,830, which averages to 119 fantasy points per lineup. We see all max and min exposure violations were resolved, and it used a total of 144 players to generate our 150 lineups. Then we see that it generated exactly 25 lineups for each of our 6 projection sources, and then below that we see it generated either 9 or 10 stacks for each team. We aren't focused on double stacks today, but below this we can see double stack information. The first line indicates we have 3 stacks of 4 Arizona players. The second line indicates we have 2 double stacks of 4 New York Yankees and 3 Arizona players. Once we close this pop-up log, the lineup viewer will show our 150 lineups. Each lineup will stack 4 players from one team. For example, this lineup stacks 4 players from Cleveland. And each lineup will be generated by a specific projection provider. This gives us meaningful diversity, meaning we didn't force the diversity, but the diversity comes from the differing views of player value from different projection providers. We can scroll through and see all our lineups, listed in order of projected fantasy points. Now we simply select our contest and upload our lineups. We are going to select the wiffle ball contest at 5 cents per lineup. We are generating these lineups from unconfirmed MLB lineups, and I won't have time later today to check on which players don't play, so we don't expect to win. To win, it is very important to double-check your lineups right before the games start and sub out players that don't play. When the multi-lineup generator ran, it saved the lineup CSV file in your downloads folder. So now the only task remaining is to upload the lineups into FanDuel by clicking on Enter New Lineup and then on Upload Lineups from CSV. Next we click Choose File and then select our file from the Downloads folder. Then we click Open and wait for our lineups to be read in. Once the lineups have been read in, we can view them on the FanDuel site. And that's it. Our 150 stack attack lineups have been uploaded to the FanDuel site, and now we can view them on the site. As mentioned earlier, we can see that a lot of players are not confirmed starters. This is just a demo video, but to get the best chance to win, you must check your lineups right before the start of the games and sub out players that are not starting. Now let's see how we did. We check our results the next day, and at the top right, we can see a scattergram of our results. We had a nice spread of results, many in the money. We did not hit that 1 or 2 special lineups that makes the stack attack strategy all worthwhile, and we ended up losing $3.35. But we did this without checking our lineups right before the games. Now let's compare our best lineup with the best lineup in the contest. Our best lineup was a stack of 4 players from San Francisco. Unfortunately, we had Austin Slater in the lineup who ended up not playing. If we had checked the lineups right before the game start and subbed out the players that didn't start, we could have done better. The best lineup in the contest had a double stack of 4 players from Arizona and 2 players from the LA Dodgers. We had 9 or 10 stacks of 4 players from Arizona, but perhaps we had players that didn't start in those lineups also. Stack Attack is an exciting feature, and hopefully this demo shows you why and how it gives you some exciting possibilities for winning. More videos showing how to use the optimizer's powerful set of tools are on the way, including how to generate double stacks. In the meantime, if you have a question, send us an email at support@advancedsportslogic.com, and remember, play responsibly and have fun.